Stay double file.
Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194, and appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And we're back here in Low-Field Motorsports in the Coach Dave Sprint Series, back here at Suzuka, and I just want to try something a little different. So I'm in a lower split anyway, and I had a couple requests for for Godzilla, the Nissan GTR. So I figured, what the heck, race it this one time, see what I got a setup for it here for Suzuka. Making a lot of changes since it's actually running really good, but it's still just trying to improve upon it. It's actually doing really good. I think I qualified at a 201.3. Should have done better than that though. I just had some traffic, couldn't get away from it, and a few little mistakes. So hopefully we can. It's tight. It's only about a tenth and a half between the pole and me. So everybody's between a tenth and a half between that. So hopefully it'll be a good race. Hopefully a clean race. We'll have to see how it goes. You know how these starts go.
Green light. Give it all you got. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
See how that was? I mean, I knew he was there, so that's why I had to let him in. That's what the other guy didn't do in the last race with the Porsche. He just ran into me. So hopefully my adjustments help, I hope. You never know with these things. Especially I haven't driven the GTR in a while. And it's kind of sketchy in the very beginning when the tires are, all this, it's got good power, great torque. And it's just a little sketchy when it's, this first lap or so. It'll be hard to go around me on the straightaway, though. This thing is a bullet down the straightaway. Alright, well, they moved up a little bit. That's the main thing. Got a McLaren and an Audi up there in the front. I don't use first gear for anything. This thing's got so much torque, it just obliterates the tires, so.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Oh! Ferrari was getting out a little wide there. Sometimes I still mess up with the gears too, because it's different gear selection as far as what it likes compared to a lot of the other cars. I think it's only corner I ever taken second in any car in ACC. This thing's got such low gears. First is a little bit too low. And again, I don't want to rip the rear tires off, so. Better than that.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Boy.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
A good lap till then. Oh, we're up to third. My old car, old 2018, still holds its own. Yeah, Ferrari's not taking the bumps too well.
You're gaining on the car heading sector 2.
deep. Dang it.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Blew it.
Clear on the left.
I got a good lap. I ended up blowing it. Whoa.
Car on the left.
Really?
Clear on the left. You've got light damage in the rear.
Wow. Pretty much got mugged. And I guess, you know, I mean, I know he was a little bit faster, but I was making a few mistakes. But, I mean, the point being is you still got to get around somebody. You can't just... I mean, I don't mind a little bump, but that was just a dive bomb. There was no opening there.
Halfway through, keep pushing.
You know, sometimes a car, you know, he's faster in the corners, I was faster down the straightaway. That's the way it goes. I don't mean you go through and try to knock somebody out of the way. I mean, a little bump is one thing, but... I like that livery in front of me. Was a really good looking livery for the AMG Evo.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
See if we can get back at least part way up here. where I should be running. Dang, tires got them too warm again, or too much pressure. Come on, hook up.
Gaining on the car heading sector 1. Well done, mate. Personal best.
That's some of the issue with the GTR. It's just always trying to get the power down. So I mean, that's the battle you're fighting. It's got such good motor all the way around. It's just always trying to be smooth and getting the thing to hook up. That's why I always do this gear higher type thing, because one, the gear ratios are so low in this anyway, and it's got enough motor. You don't need to use the gears to get it to go. I think I need a little bit more diff right through here.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
It's consistent.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Like I said, I like to have something different a little bit once in a while. And of course, I know I had a couple of requests for the GTR, so right near my Delta, so again, that's good. Smoother there. Not making up any ground. These guys are just
personal best.
Staying right there. These guys would mix it up some more up in front of me. Oh. Whoa. Pushing hard. Oh.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Golly, these people. They're the ones that run off the track and then they're knocking you around. Kinda did it again.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
See if we can get home without bending it. giving it everything, just pushing hard, so sometimes you just go in a little bit too much. That was better.
The leader has finished the race. Alright, the race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best to bring it back to the pits.
Yep. Could have been a podium, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield, so that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. You know, I thought it was overall a pretty good race. Little aggressive. A little bit more aggressive than I like, to be honest. I don't like forcing your way through when you're making a pass. Now, if it's a rub or just a little bump, that's understandable. That's okay, but you know, pretty much that was more than just a bump. So, in fact, let's see if we can find it. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's. Let's see here. Where was I? I already got hit. So let's back here. That was that guy. Number 14. I mean, I know he's faster in some areas, so I get that. I mean, all right. It's gotta be where it is here. Yeah. So there I am, right there. It doesn't show it. It's already messed up. So let's go back. There. I mean, look at that. I mean, there's no. No call for that. I mean, that was not even close. I mean, I'm already halfway going through the apex. There was no opening there. There was no opening there, and he just goes in and just jams it and hits me, knocks me out, so he can get a position. Again, I don't like that. You know, if I would have come up here and he would have already been here, even if he was just right, you know, he's right here. But if he would have been like, let's say a half a car length up ahead of that. Let's say he would have been right here at my back tire or right by my bumper here. I would have known he would have been going in there. I would have stayed wide and gave him the room to make the pass because he's right at my bumper. But this is not at my bumper. This is a half a car length or a car length behind. So that's a dive bomb if there ever was a dive bomb. So I mean, look, and he just comes in and boom and hits me. So. And messes up my race where I had a podium and he just screws it up. You know, maybe I would have dropped the fourth. I mean, he had a little faster car, but I mean, I was making some mistakes, and again, I was turning some good lap times. So, mean, his best was a 2:01.52, so that's like that's right on par with what I was running. So again, yeah, there's mine's a 2:01.57. So I mean, it's right there. So again, I just think that's a little rough trying to get it through. I understand there's some rubbing, maybe a little bumping, but that's just taking somebody out. That's just knocking somebody out to take a position. So that's not what I call good racing. But other than that, it was a good race. I think everybody was pretty decent. A lot of aggressive. They're pretty aggressive guys going up the track and stuff. That happens. I mean, that's what happens. But we'll go over the data. Come back here to Suzuka and go over the setup and the data. And then, of course, we'll go to LFM. And, of course, I'm going to have some incident points from all these little contacts. But nothing I can do about it. So let's see what we can do. Alrighty, well, we're back here at Suzuka with Godzilla, the GTR. And we'll go ahead and look over the setup. And I was looking over some of the laps. Just looking at it and just trying to put it together as far as anything I can do with it. I'll give some suggestions, and of course we'll look at Motec and see what that is. I haven't even opened it up, and of course we'll go to LFM and see what the damages are. A lot more incident points than I like, but that's just the way it goes. So let's look at the setup. We got 26 pretty much all the way around. That gives you a basic idea. It should be pretty close as far as 22, 23 degrees temperatures. The toe is negative 0.15 on the front with the camber at negative 3.2 and the caster at 17.2. Now, the toe had, I had it at maxed out at a negative 0.2 in the race. I think it had a little bit of understeer in the middle of the corner, and it was hurting me, so I would probably take that back to negative 0.15. That's what I had it at before. But the problem with the Nissan, the GTR, is I can't get the turn in the way I like it. So that's why I was trying to help it with some more toe in to get it to turn in better. It's 6.5 does the other, so you can try it if you want and see if you like it. But it just felt like it had a little bit of understeer in the middle of the corner, especially the hairpin and certain things like that. So on the rear, the toe was a positive 0.1 with the camber at negative 2.9. Electronics, I had it at 3 and 3. Fuel, I had it at 50 liters, but I did the setup actually at 63, so that's what I did it at. But in the race, I had 50 liters with the number 1 brake pad. Mechanical, I had 6 on the anti-roll bar. I started out with 61 on the brake bias. That's doing pretty conservative. So you can take it with what you will. I mean, you can go all the way down to, I had it at 58.9 at the end there. So you could probably start out at like 60 or something like that, or somewhere around there, and go right from there. Steering's 13. Springs on the front are 166,000 with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 5. And the springs on the rear are 126,000 with a bump stop rate of 900 and a bump stop range of 20. Anti-roll bar is 4 and the preload on the diff is 100, but this is different. I'm going to knock this. I had it at 110, and I'm probably going to go to 120. So it just seems like that. It probably hurt a little bit in the S's, but it'll help on that fast double left going onto the back straightaway. It gives you some good traction so you can get a good run down that straightaway, and it's so important so somebody doesn't get a run on you right there. So you can try it between 100 and 120. That's where I kept fluctuating. As far as anything else, springs, you could go up another click. I was really wanting to go up at least one more click on the rear springs. Something that you might want to try, but it got the car too slidey. Maybe because I had the brake bias. Maybe you have to counter that with putting the brake bias up higher, and then you could do that. Maybe that's a combination you could try, but again, it's going to probably hurt some of your braking. And the Nissan GTR isn't really a big, late breaker. So again, and that's why it doesn't really fit my driving style. I mean, it's more of being smooth, and it rewards not being aggressive. I mean, going into the corner and things like that. At least on the brakes. I mean, you can probably go in pretty hard, but you just can't go in really hard on the brakes. It ends up just understeering, and you end up just overdoing it, and it ends up hurting you, and that's it. Kind of messes me up because that's a lot of the times that's the way I drive. I guess because I've just driven the Porsche so much and things like that that's what it likes. So, but the GTR is the opposite of that. It's really more concentrated on going in, not on the brakes. I mean, you can go in again, decent corner entry, but not on the brakes, like going in hard on the brakes, but going in at a good rate, but really concentrating on the middle and coming off the corner, and that's where you get that's where you make up a lot of time, with the GTRs, because it's got such a good motor. So again, you want to take advantage of that and hook it up and get, you don't want to be counter steering and oversteering and all that kind of stuff. So again, that's why I put a little bit more diff to it. At least that's the idea anyway. Everything else looks good here. The big one, shocks. I did make some adjustments before the race, so let's see what she is now. Let's see. Now, so you see that? That's the race part, yeah. And there was my fast lap at 201.32. That was in qualifying. So here's some other laps down here that were more what it's supposed to be. But again, again, I keep trying to chase it down as far as getting this thing. Looks like the rebound is a little bit too high. So let's see if we can make some adjustments. It's only at a little over 50. I mean, that's at 49, basically 50, but the graph is a little bit too high. So we need to come down, and I actually made some adjustments for that before the race. It was really bad in there. I guess it's come down some, but so we need to take that down, probably a couple clicks. So we'll do that. Should get it closer. This side's right there. That's 49.9, so that's really close. Not too bad. It's not perfect. It could be a little bit, but it's still a lot better than it was. Over here is 49.4, so that's not as bad as it is on the left side. So that actually looks a lot better. But again, it probably needs to come down. This is a little off. The low here is a little off. It's just like this one is. That's a little off too. I actually lowered that down. I put a click down on that. So probably do the same over here. I'm just going to go one click instead of two. So again, that's going to be a little different on that side. It's not as bad on this side as it was over here on the left. On the right here we got, that's a little over 50 on this side. So this is 50.6. So again, a little, looks pretty good through on the low side here. Or on the high side, I mean on the high side, on the fast bump I should say. Fast bump. But this actually looks like it's a little high, so we need to lower that down a click. So I'll go down. So we went down one click here. So again, just little adjustments here. This is 50.1, so it's really close, but again, this needs to come down. So we're going to actually make another adjustment like we did on the front. Bring this down. This is 49.8, so again, pretty close, but this is a little high here. Actually, it needs to. That's pretty good here on the fast bump down here. This looks like a pretty good graph. But this actually looks like it could go up. So I'm gonna actually I'm gonna go up one click. See if I can get this to come up higher up and spread this out. So we'll try that. Over here again is 49, just a little over 50, just barely. So I'll do the same thing that I did on the other side. There you go. So that's the same. And this is 49.9. So again, really close. And not too bad. A little high. A little high there. So maybe you need to come down on the fast bump there and go up on the other. So let's try that. There we go. So again, a little bit of differences, but that's just the way it goes. I mean, sometimes you get that. But again, I keep trying to get it a little bit closer, a little bit, more dialed in. So, and every time it just keeps getting closer and closer. So again, I still think it's a really big improvement over something that's, over the standard. It's not even, over the standard setups, it's not even close. As far as the Motec, as far as the shocks, they were all over. So yeah, it's definitely a lot better, a lot more compliant. So we'll go with that. Again, it's something that you can always be adjusting on, but I still think it's it's really good. So left front, we got 11, 12, 17, and 21. Right front is 10, 12, 18, and 21. Left rear is 5, 2, 14, and 20. And the right rear is 5, 1, 14, and 20. So that should do it for that. Aero, we got 55 in the front all the way down, 60 in the rear, which I did lower that down in the race to 58. So again, I'm going to leave this the way it is. We'll go ahead and leave it the way it is, but just keep that in mind. You might have to go down to 58 because this actually comes up in the rear. The front doesn't move. The rear comes up too near the end. So you might want to. I got a 3-wing and a 3 on the brake ducts. So, and again, if it drops, and they're really at the edge, if it drops any but below at 20 or under, you need to go down to 2. You need to go to 2 on the brake ducts because this place has got such fast straightaways, it ends up cooling the brakes and the tires too much, and it's hard to keep it consistent. You peak and valley too much. So I'm just kind of debating on, because it does take a couple out. So you got the front air variation. If you could take out a couple, is 0. And that's at 0.3. So let's go ahead and just do 1. Let's split the difference, and we'll just leave it at 55 and 59 in the rear. So let's just do 1 and split the difference. I think I had it at 58 in the race. So again, trying to get it as close as I can, so it's a good setup for everyone and something that's drivable, and you can have some fun with, and it can perform over the, you can see I was doing some of my fastest laps right at the end of the stint, so that's really good. Good sign. I like that. So again, I'll put a link to this setup in the description, and of course, liking and subscribing I really appreciate it. And I just want to throw out a special thanks to Stu Skinner and Parker Jacobs and Simon Fox and Mathis, and all those are my basically contributing with PayPal. So thank you to those. Special thanks to those guys. And I just want to keep mentioning that in the future. People that basically, no matter the amount, just, give a special thanks out to them because I appreciate the support. And we'll go to LFM website so we can see what the damages are. All right, here we are at the LFM homepage, and before we get started, the guy in the Honda sent me a message apologizing that he didn't mean. He's just apologized, says he's just sorry for doing that. So, like I said, I'm a forgiving person, and we all make mistakes, so it's the way it is. Again, everybody tries not to do that, but it's that's the tough part because all these cars have strengths and weaknesses in different places. You got, like an extreme case like the Porsche. It's killer on the brakes, drive it in hard, but it's not great on the straightaways, things like that. But you got other cars that are the exact opposite. So you got that's the thing. When you have all these things and you're trying to mesh them together, that's what makes it tough. And to really set up a pass to where you can pass somebody and not get into contact, or at least wreck somebody anyway. And that's what's really takes practice and thought, unless somebody just messes up and you can just take it over, get in there. But to really make the pass, and of course the cars, like I said, the top 5 or 6 or something when we started were only separated by a tenth and a half. So again, that makes everything so much closer. So if you are stronger in a certain area, and you really got to set it up. A lot of times it takes multiple laps to get something set up that you can see where you're strong at and make the pass. And it makes it tough. I know. When I'm in a Porsche, it's tough, especially when you just can't go around somebody on a straightaway. When you got to really set it up to be able to outbrake somebody or come off the corner and get up alongside, so you can be on the on the inside for the next corner. It's not easy. So and unfortunately with the Honda, I don't he didn't have the straightaway speed on the Nissan, and he had to basically. I could tell he was stronger in a lot of places than me, but some of it was just me making mistakes or again over driving it, and I was just hurting myself. And making him to where he could just get right up on my bumper. And, so again, some of that was my fault. But again, it's always the job of the guy passing to make the pass clean. So again, but he said he was sorry, and that's good. So move on, and let's see what the damages are. Again, I was in a lower split. 6th place, so lost 1 position. Look at that. Only Nissan, never see that too much in there. But anyway, fast lap was a 201.57. So again, right there. We're all in the mid 201s. The winner ran a 201.36, which that's a good time. That's okay. And I don't think I was that far off. Just a matter of me driving correctly, driving better. I don't know. I think the guy in the BMW apologized too. Well, I don't remember what the guy in the BMW did. But anyway, both of these guys apologized, so that's okay. And but I got 15 incident points, which I knew that was going to be bad, which it hurt my my safety rating, negative -0.1, but I gained 43 on my ELO. So, it's kind of a wash. Didn't really lose barely anything on my safety rating, so that's okay for that many incident points. So, hopefully with the ELO, we can try to keep working on it to go up and not go down. So, I appreciate any support, and I hope you enjoyed the race. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good race with the Nissan. Again, I like doing that, throwing once in a while a wild card in there, whether it's a Nissan or the M6 or, one of the older cars, just to see how it does. If I have decent pace with it or have a good setup for it, a decent setup for it, I wouldn't want to do that if I was just basically in nowhere land. But, if I can get the car where I think I got a decent setup, I don't mind doing that. Even though obviously I'm stronger in other cars, but it's fun. That's what I have fun with that, because a lot of variety, and I love ACC as far as how different the cars react, like I talked about earlier, and how much fun they are to drive the one and how it drives compared to another one. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. I don't know if any of you, any comments or feedback below is always appreciated, but there's many times where maybe I don't have time to work on something as far as a setup or to do a race or anything, and sometimes I just get in whatever car I feel like and just go to whatever track I want to and make some laps. And that's the difference, I think, with ACC compared to any other racing sim that I have done, that I can actually do that and really not care about the time, just the enjoyment of driving. And I really can't think of anything else that I can say that I've done that and really felt the same way. And that's why I guess I have almost 5,000 hours. I'm getting close to it in ACC. I don't know what it is, but I know it's getting up there. But I mean, again, just because I can get into any of almost all of them, and depending upon what I feel like, and getting into it and just running for maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes at a track and just enjoy driving it and not really caring what the times are, just having fun. And I like that. So again, thank you to Kunos, because anytime you can have some enjoyment, nowadays it's a plus. So I hope you all get some enjoyment out of that, and enjoyment and out of these videos, and enjoying the races and things. And I really enjoy your all's feedback and talking. Again, I do enjoy all that also. So it's great talking to everyone. It's awesome. So I hope you come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.